What's up, guys? It's DJ with Charge Cycle Works, and we have a really awesome bike to unbox tonight. I've been waiting for this thing for months, if not close to a year, so let's get into it. All right, so tonight we're gonna unbox the Arctic Leopard E-XE 880. This bike is a really cool bike. It's an XC bike. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this thing tonight. So let's just jump into some stats I've prepared for you a little bit here. You know, I'm gonna compare this thing to a KTM 300 XC, a 2024 model, just because that's kind of the latest XC bike that I ride. And then we'll kind of break down how this compares. So power-wise, they're about the same power. The E-XE 880 has 50 horsepower. KTM, look, 49 horsepower. The weight is about the same. KTM dry is 230. This is 238. So obviously, if you add some gas in there, you're going to be more like probably in the 250s, 260 range on the KTM. Seat height, this is a ½ inch shorter than the KTM. KTM sits at 37.9 inches. This is at 37.4 inches. So a little bit shorter.
Wait. Why are you comparing this to a gas bike? What about my KTM Freeride?
Freeride has 18 kilowatts of power.
Okay,
and
so
weighs more too.
So this is lighter and faster.
Lighter and faster.
Fine.
Yeah. So let's move on to suspension.
Wait, I'm sorry. What about my Varg? How does it compare to that? Because I have 60 horsepower out of my Varg, or I can turn it up to 80.
Yeah.
I haven't yet, because I'm too lightweight and that scares me, but I can do it. It's really fast.
That's fair, but have you ridden that bike on the trails or just the motocross track?
Only the motocross track.
Yeah. It's, and it's heavier. The Varg is heavier. Let's jump into suspension. Suspension's about the same across the board on all these bikes we're talking about. 48 millimeter suspension. They both have nearly 12 inches of travel.
Okay, one last question then. How does this compare to my Ultra B?
So I'm gonna pump the brakes on you with that a bit. We have another bike that we're gonna talk about that Arctic Leopard produces. It's, it's a little more Ultra B competitor,
Okay.
we'll say. So right now, just help me get this thing unboxed so I can go ride. I've been dying to ride this thing, so let's do this.
You have been waiting. DJ has been waiting on this bike for about 8 months. Now that we finally have one, it's kind of exciting to see him get it and get a chance to go and ride it.
Oh, we got red. I don't even know what color we got.
I honestly didn't either. I forgot what we ordered.
Dude, this thing is sweet.
That's a real crate.
Okay.
It's going to take us a few minutes to get this thing out of the box. I'm going to go grab some tools. Let's jump on it. Look at the storage.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
That's insane.
So far, remember, we've got 14 millimeter wrench that we needed for the crate. Now I've got a T25 for the front fender.
Okay. Just the charger.
Edit that out. There you go. Man, I know this is like your bike and all, but I'm kind of excited to ride this thing. It's looking pretty good.
You know, I'm gonna need you to get off the bike.
All right, fine. Finish it so we can go ride this thing.
I need to adjust the levers, okay? I just need to adjust the levers.
Do your thing.
That's it. Okay, so this is interesting.
Yep, so there's a tiny cable coming out at the bottom that makes that electronic. They used that but put a pressure sensor inside.
Yeah, that is really
it is pretty unique. I'll be honest, it looks way better than I could have anticipated when we bought it, seeing it on a website that didn't have very many details at the time. KKE wheels on it out of the box, moto suspension. I mean, it's legit. What is it, 48 mil?
Yeah, 48
Stanchions,
mil. Yep. Almost 12 inches of travel.
Front and rear.
So yeah, pretty
really not bad.
Impressive.
So one thing that's worth pointing out, although this bike comes standard with a 104 volt battery, we actually opted for the long range battery, which is a 90 volt, 75 amp hour. So massive stats coming out of this thing.
That's bigger than the Stark Vargs battery.
That is bigger than our 70 or our 80 volt, 76 amp hour as well.
Yeah.
So out of the box, the only thing you had to do is take it out of the crate. You had to put on the front wheel, front fender, and headlight.
Yep.
Everything else looks like it's ready to go. The chain's already in the right position. You're adjusting the levers. That's small details. People are going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, DJ, so one thing about the battery, we talked about earlier, 105 volt, 58 amp hour range. So that is 6,090 watt hours. That's massive.
That's big.
Like you said, that's the size of the Varg. Coincidentally, that is the same watt hours as our 80 volt, 76 amp hour. So it's 680, so they're nearly identical. This bike, however, has the optional 90 volt, 75 amp hour battery going for more range. That is 6750. It's the biggest battery we've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest that I've seen. It's crazy.
On your KTM 300, any of your 300s, what's typical range that you do in a normal ride? Like if you're going out for a big day out.
If I'm going for a big day out, I mean, at very max, the most I ever get is 70 miles.
Okay, so is that a target for this kind of bike then?
You know, I think our target is probably
60?
60, I would say.
Okay.
60 is about the biggest ride. Like when I'm out on a motorcycle tour with clients, 60 is at max what we do.
So our, again, upgraded 80 volt, 76 amp hour, it's expensive. It's like $3,600.
Yeah.
Right? So this bike already comes configured with that. When we went on our last ride, and I showed up on my Ultra B, I had the smaller 72 volt, 73 amp hour, and we got 50 miles out of that.
Yeah.
It's reasonable you're going to get 60 miles. You're just going to be going a lot faster because this is a bigger, faster bike.
Yeah.
A little bit of a weight penalty, but I think that's the test, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to ride with dirt bikes on a bike like this, on trails, and get the same range as all your gas friends?
If so, this could be my guide bike. I could be riding this thing every day.
I think the thing that we're impressed about this bike, without even riding it yet, it just finished Dakar.
This bike
It's a huge race.
First, and they I want to say they podiumed too, right?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your first impressions when you get out on the bike. We'll all get a couple bikes together, probably take a Varg.
Yeah.
Because we got to do that
range
range
comparison. Yeah, we got to test this thing
comparison.
against the Varg, and we definitely need to test it against our long range Ultra.
So our Ultra B happens to be 35 kilowatts as well right now.
Yep.
So it has the same battery. I'll be honest, we put almost $16,000 into our Ultra Bs.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this compares for $5,000 less.
I'm excited. So this bike is really cool. One of the, I should say, two of the cool features that I was looking forward to on this bike. It's an XC bike in its nature, right? And it's got a foot brake, which I found to be really cool because I'm used to using a foot brake. And I've always wanted a clutch on one of these bikes. And so this has if you notice here, there's no clutch cable coming out of this. This is all electronic. And if you are an electric motorcycle rider, usually, and you haven't experienced the foot brake, you're more a handbrake guy, you can program this to being a handbrake. So clutch or regen, I'm gonna use it as a clutch and awesome foot brake here.
Okay, bud. So a couple closing remarks. We don't normally do unboxing videos. It's pretty exciting that this is one of the first, if not the first, EX 880 in the country. We've been waiting on this bike for a long time. We're all excited to ride it. So I think the next logical thing, we actually pack it up, go ride.
It's time.
Yeah.
The weather's looking pretty good, so.
Anything that jumps out about the bike, though, that this is the biggest electric bike we've seen from Arctic Leopard. You said earlier that you think it's going to hide its weight well when you're moving the bike around.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
I do too. You know, that's the one thing. You pick up any new gas bike, especially two-stroke, very light bike.
Yep.
But the minute you start riding the thing, you feel its weight. You know, that rotating mass has that effect. So with this, not as much rotating mass, so I really think that we're going to get away with this thing still feeling pretty light.
I'm really impressed by this bike. The fit and finish looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The swing arm looks strong. The frame looks great. The wheels are nice. Foot brake out of the box. The dash, everything about it's super cool.
Yeah. This bike looks like a real XC bike.
Yeah, it's legit.
And that was my hope. And so now I just, we'll see if that lives up to the hype when we go and ride the thing on the dirt.
I guess that's enough talking. Let's just go ride it and see.
Let's go rip.